There's an old saying that getting there is half the fun. Sometimes getting there can be a bit of a challenge. If you're going to the northeast Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh, well, you better get your permits. And if you get it, you better make a whole bunch of copies of them, because there's a lot of police checkpoints and a lot of guys are going to want to look at them, and some people are going to want a copy. So you should make like 20 copies when you get your permit. Then you'll find out in Arunachal Pradesh there's some places that you just can't go. In other places in Arunachal Pradesh, it seems that they don't want you there. And in most places of Arunachal Pradesh, the roads are bad and it's pretty hard to get around. And most of the time, it's in a four-wheel drive vehicle. After you get to where you're going, in this case we went to Ziro. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and worth all the effort to get there. And you'll meet really interesting and very hardworking people that might give you a different perspective on your job back home.
Wow, good job.
And when you go to the market, it might give you a different perspective of what you eat back home.
For barbecue. Barbecue. Wow.
We didn't have to eat grubs or barbecued rats. We ate really good food cooked for us by really good people. And we stayed in this town for 10 days. And we spent 10 days walking around the rice fields and walking around the villages. And sometimes we'd hitchhike around. Most of the time we just walked. There's a lot of great places to see around Ziro. Beautiful villages with interesting things that you don't really understand. At least we didn't understand all of it. Fantastic Shiva temples up in the mountains. And they were building an airport. Some of the locals were for it, some of the locals were against it, as you can imagine. So that'll change things in Ziro once the airport's built. But we want to say thanks to all the great staff at the Ziro Valley Resort. We were the only people there. We stayed for 10 days. We were the only ones. And to the fantastic Apatami women of Arunachal Pradesh and the Ziro area that allowed us to photograph them and walk through their villages and walk through their rice fields, and they were always friendly when we saw them. And there's quite a few traditional people around in that part of Arunachal Pradesh, actually, still to this day, so it's really an interesting place to go. And the roads are long, and the roads are rough, and you won't see many or any other foreigners, and you have to have your permit, and they are going to check your permits all the time, and it's only good for 30 days. So think about it. Ziro, Arunachal Pradesh. a great trip. Hey, aloha, namaste.